The silent ascension. The stars had always called to humanity, beckoning with promises of discovery and adventure. What humans didn't know was that they were being watched, studied, and deliberately held back. For over 3 centuries, the Galactic Conclave, an alliance of 12 advanced species, had monitored Earth's development with growing concern. Humans were deemed evolutionarily unstable, a species that developed too quickly, adapted too readily, and possessed an alarming capacity for both creation and destruction. The Conclave had unanimously voted to implement the containment protocol. Through a network of stealth satellites, quantum interference fields, and occasional direct sabotage, they ensured humanity's technological progress followed a carefully moderated path. Brilliant scientists who came too close to breakthrough technologies would find their research failing inexplicably. Experimental propulsion systems would malfunction. Quantum computing advances would hit mysterious barriers. Yet despite all this, humanity continued to push forward, establishing colonies on Mars, Europa, and Titan within their own solar system. The Conclave believed their measures were working. They were wrong. Admiral Helena Chen stood at the viewport of the EDF Prometheus, Earth's most advanced starship. At least, the most advanced one the aliens knew about. Beyond the reinforced glass, the Jovian moon of Europa glowed blue-white against the gas giant's swirling storms. Chen's reflection showed a woman in her 50s with silver-streaked black hair pulled into a tight bun and eyes that had seen too much to be easily impressed. Admiral, her executive officer, Commander Jackson, approached. The Ricari delegation has arrived. They're requesting immediate audience. Chen nodded. The Ricari were one of the youngest conclave species, still arrogant in their perceived superiority, but less cautious than the ancient members. "Tell them I'll meet them in 5 minutes," she said. The Ricari ambassador, Sev Talon, waited in the ship's conference room, 7 feet of scaled blue-green alien aristocracy. Flanked by 2 guards, he barely acknowledged Chen's entrance. "Admiral," he said, his translator converting clicks and whistles into crisp English, "I come with urgent directives from the Galactic Conclave." Chen took her seat calmly. "Please continue. Your unauthorized expansion into the Europan deep sea must cease immediately. The organic compounds you've discovered are classified as conclave-protected substances. Your research stations will be dismantled within 1 standard rotation." Chen tapped her fingers on the polished table. "Ambassador, those research stations housed 5,000 colonists. They'd been there for 15 years. The compounds you refer to are crucial for our medical advancements." Sev Talon made a dismissive gesture. "Your developmental timeline has not yet warranted access to Type 3 bioactives. The Conclave's decision is final. And if we refuse..." The Ricari's head frills expanded slightly, a sign of amusement or contempt. "Then appropriate measures will be taken to ensure compliance." Chen's expression remained neutral. "I understand. Please allow me to consult with Earth Central." "You have 6 hours to begin evacuation," Sev Talon said, rising. "The Conclave has been patient with your species, Admiral. Do not mistake that patience for weakness." After the Ricari departed, Chen sat motionless for several minutes. Finally, she activated her secure comlink. "This is Admiral Chen to Earth Central. Authorization Phoenix Omega. The clock has started." The voice responded immediately. "Confirmed, Admiral. Phoenix Omega authorized. Activation sequence initiated." Across the solar system, in hidden facilities buried beneath the lunar surface, within hollowed-out asteroids, and in the cloud layers of Saturn, systems that had remained dormant for decades began to power up. Earth had long ago discovered the alien interference. Rather than fight it openly, a secret council of nations had formed the Shadow Directive, an organization dedicated to developing technology away from alien detection. For generations, humanity's brightest minds had worked in these hidden facilities, creating advancements that leapfrogged the restrictions imposed by the Conclave. 12 hours later, the Ricari returned, not with a diplomatic vessel, but with a battle cruiser. It emerged from faster-than-light travel near Europa, weapons already charging. Admiral Chen. Sev Talon's voice crackled over the comm. Your time has expired. You have failed to begin evacuation procedures. We will now remove your installations by force. This is regrettable but necessary. Chen's response was calm. Ambassador, I strongly advise you to stand down. You are making a grave mistake. The alien's laughter translated as a series of clicks. Your primitive vessels pose no threat to a conclave warship. Stand down and survive. Very well, Chen said. You've made your choice. She closed the channel and spoke to her bridge crew. Activate Defense Grid Alpha. Notify all stations. Umbra Protocol is now in effect. Across Europa's surface and beneath its ice, what had appeared to be standard research stations began to transform. Shield generators that had been disguised as atmospheric regulators powered up. Weapons platforms concealed as communication arrays rotated toward the Recurry vessel. The alien ship fired its first salvo, a plasma beam aimed at the central research hub. Before it could impact, an energy shield flickered into existence, absorbing the blast completely. What is this? Sev Talon demanded over an open channel. These defensive capabilities are beyond your technological level. Chen didn't respond. Instead, she gave a simple order. Initiate containment procedure. From hidden bays around Europa, 12 small vessels emerged. The Recurry sensors registered them as standard mining ships, until, suddenly, they weren't. Quantum field generators, technology the Conclave believed was at least a century beyond human capability, activated simultaneously. The Recurry ship found itself trapped in a space-time bubble, its engines straining futilely against the distortion. Admiral Chen to Recurry vessel. She finally responded. Your ship is contained. Your weapons are nullified. You are, as of this moment, at our mercy. On the view screen, Sev Talon's alien features contorted in shock. This is impossible. The containment protocol has failed. Chen finished for him. It failed decades ago. Everything you've seen of human development has been what we wanted you to see. The Conclave will not stand for this aggression. The alien sputtered. Chen's expression hardened. Aggression. You came to forcibly remove 5,000 of our people from their homes. You threatened us with your weapons. We simply revealed that your threats are empty. She leaned forward, her voice steady. For centuries, we've watched you watching us. We've played along, pretending to be held back by your interference. All while we prepared. For what? Sev Talon asked, his arrogance replaced by dawning fear. For this moment, Chen replied. The moment when you finally pushed too far, and we had to show you the truth. Humanity is not contained. Not anymore. As if on cue, across the solar system, hidden fleets began to emerge from camouflage docks. On Earth, buried facilities revealed themselves, rising from beneath mountains and oceans. The Shadow Directive's work was finally being brought into the light. What? What do you want? The Recurry ambassador asked. Admiral Chen's face remained impassive. A meeting. With the full conclave. It's time we renegotiated humanity's place in the galaxy. They will never agree. They will, Chen said with absolute certainty, because the alternative is discovering just how much we've been holding back. In the conclave's central chambers on the neutral world of Axiom Prime, 12 representatives of the galaxy's most powerful species gathered in emergency session. The Recurry ambassador had been released to deliver Earth's message personally, along with data recordings that prove humanity's technological leap. The Grand Archon, a Saurian elder whose species had been spacefaring when mammals first appeared on Earth, studied the recordings with growing concern. This cannot be allowed, declared Prelate Zox of the warlike Krell Dominion. If humans have developed quantum containment fields, what else have they hidden? They must be neutralized immediately. With what? Asked the serene voice of the Uxori representative, their luminescent form pulsing with tension. Did you not see what their technology did to a Rikari battle cruiser? If they've concealed this much, attacking them would be catastrophically unwise. The debate raged as the Conclave's most powerful members faced an uncomfortable truth. A species they had dismissed as barely significant had been operating beyond their control for longer than anyone knew. And now, humanity was coming to the table, not as supplicants, but as equals. The central doors parted, and a single human figure entered the chamber. Admiral Helena Chen, now dressed in formal diplomatic attire, strode confidently toward the center of the room. Behind her, a small delegation of Earth's representatives followed. The conclave would never be the same again. Humanity had held back. But no more. The reckoning. The conclave chamber fell silent as Admiral Chen stood at its center. Unlike the elegant otherworldly forms of the alien representatives surrounding her, she appeared strikingly ordinary, a reminder of how easily the conclave had underestimated humanity. Honorable representatives, Chen began, her voice carrying through the vast space. For centuries, your conclave has operated under the belief that humanity was successfully contained, that our technological and spatial expansion was proceeding according to your carefully managed timeline. She activated a small device, and a holographic display materialized above the chamber floor. It showed a three-dimensional map of human settlements and installations throughout the solar system, far more extensive than anything the conclave had documented. This is the reality, she continued. While you monitored our public development, we built in the shadows. While you sabotaged our breakthroughs, we found workarounds. While you believed us ignorant of your interference, we studied you in return. The Grand Archon, his ancient reptilian features impassive, leaned forward slightly. How long have you known of our supervision? Chen's lips curved in a faint smile. From the beginning, Archon. Our first deep space probes detected your monitoring satellites in the 2030s. By 2040, we had identified the quantum interference patterns affecting our research. By 2050, we had created the Shadow Directive specifically to counter your containment protocol. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. Nearly 2 centuries of covert development, hidden from the most advanced civilizations in the known galaxy. The Krell representative, Prelate Zox, rose from his seat, his armored exoskeleton clicking as he moved. This deception is an act of war. The Krell Dominion will not stand for. Prelate, Chen interrupted calmly. Before you continue, I should inform you that we've mapped every Krell military installation within 60 light-years of Earth. We've identified the quantum signatures of your cloaked vessels. And, she added, activating another display, we've developed countermeasures specifically calibrated to your defensive systems. The hologram showed detailed schematics of Krell military technology, information the warlike species guarded zealously. Zox fell silent, mandibles clicking in barely suppressed rage. The Uxori representative's luminescent form pulsed with a gentler rhythm. Admiral Chen, while this revelation is disturbing, it does not explain your purpose here today. What does Earth want from the conclave? Recognition, Chen replied simply. An end to the containment protocol. And a seat at this table. The chamber erupted in voices, some outrage, others calculating, a few genuinely curious. The Grand Archon raised a clawed hand, restoring order. You must understand our perspective, Admiral, the ancient being said, its voice like gravel sliding over stone. The conclave's founding principle is stability. Species development must proceed along predictable paths. Your kind's accelerated growth is unprecedented and unpredictable. Is that why you've interfered with our development? Fear of the unpredictable. The Archon's vertical pupils narrowed. Caution, not fear. Humanity's combination of technological aptitude, adaptability, and, it paused, searching for the right word, aggression presents unique concerns. Chen nodded. We understand your caution, but it has led to policies that we can no longer accept. Your interference has cost lives. Brilliant minds whose work might have saved millions, technologies that could have prevented disasters. She looked around the chamber, meeting alien gazes one by one. We're not here to threaten. We're here to announce that the old arrangement is over. Either we establish new terms as equals, or we proceed independently, without your approval or cooperation. And if we refuse, this from the Ricari ambassador, still smarting from his recent humiliation. Instead of answering, Chen activated her communication device. Director Wallace, proceed with Demonstration Alpha. Throughout the galaxy, on precisely 100 worlds where the Conclave maintained outposts or installations, small devices that had been planted years or even decades earlier activated simultaneously. They didn't cause damage or disruption. They simply revealed themselves, transmitting a single signal back to the chamber. A new hologram appeared, showing the locations blinking across a galactic map. 100 facilities, Chen explained. Military bases, research stations, governmental compounds. For years, we've had access to them all. We've gathered intelligence, studied your technologies, and left these markers, not as a threat, but as proof of what we can do when we choose to act. The silence that followed was profound. Eventually, the Uxori representative spoke. You could have attacked at any time, but we didn't, Chen replied. Because despite what you believe about human nature, we prefer cooperation to conflict. We're not asking for dominance, only equality. Hours of tense negotiation followed. The Krell continued to push for military action, while older, wiser species counseled accommodation. Throughout it all, Admiral Chen remained calm, neither threatening nor submissive. As the conclave session stretched into its 10th hour, the Grand Archon finally called for a formal vote. The question before us is whether to recognize Earth as a sovereign power exempt from the containment protocol, and potentially to offer humanity membership in the conclave itself. The ancient beings surveyed the chamber. Those in favor. One by one, representatives signaled their assent. The Uxori first, followed by the enigmatic Voth, then others. The Krell abstained. The Ricari, after a moment's hesitation, also voted in favor, pragmatism overcoming pride. The motion carries, the Archon announced. Admiral Chen, it seems humanity has earned its place among the stars, through means none of us anticipated. Thank you, Archon, Chen replied with a respectful nod. This is the outcome we hoped for. As the formal proceedings concluded, representatives began to disperse. The Uxori glided toward Chen, its luminescence shifting through spectrums humans couldn't perceive. A question, Admiral, it said, voice melodic. These capabilities you've revealed, they represent only a fraction of what humanity has developed, don't they? Chen smiled faintly. Let's just say we believe in measured disclosure, Ambassador. Some revelations are best saved for when relationships have matured. The Uxori's light pulsed in what might have been amusement. Indeed, I suspect the coming decades will be fascinating for us all. As Chen prepared to depart, the Grand Archon approached her privately. Admiral, it said, voice pitched low. In my 17 centuries, I have rarely been surprised. Today marks an exception. Chen inclined her head. I'll take that as a compliment, Archon. It is meant as one, the ancient being acknowledged, but also as a warning. The conclave has existed for millennia because it adapts. You have forced a rapid adaptation today, but do not mistake diplomatic success for complete victory. Some within our ranks will not easily forget being outplayed. We're aware of the risks, Chen replied, but remaining under your containment protocol was no longer acceptable. No, the Archon agreed, surprisingly. Perhaps it never should have been implemented. An error of judgment, spanning centuries. It studied her with eyes that had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. What will humanity do with its newfound recognition? Chen's answer was immediate and certain. Explore, learn, grow, contribute, all the things we've always wanted to do, but without artificial constraints. The Archon made a sound that might have been laughter, so simple, so human. It turned to leave. then paused. The Usori was correct, Admiral. The coming decades will indeed be fascinating. As Chen rejoined her delegation, her executive officer leaned close. Orders, Admiral. Contact Earth Central, she replied. Tell them Phase 1 is complete. The containment protocol has been officially terminated. And Phase 2. Chen looked out at the stars visible through the chamber's vast windows, stars that were now open to humanity in ways they had never been before. Phase 2 begins now, Commander. True cooperation where possible. True independence where necessary. Her expression was resolute. We held back for centuries. We won't make that mistake again. Throughout the galaxy, humanity's hidden fleets and facilities continued their vigilant watch. Earth had won its freedom and recognition. But trust would take much longer to build. The message had been delivered. We held back, but no more. The galaxy would never be the same again.